and it reminded me, and hopefully reminded him, that we all have beliefs or prejudices about others that we need that are just far from reality.
Right.
Some of us further than others, but we all have them, including myself. And we have to let them go to give people a fair shot at reentry. 90% of people are going to reenter society. They are coming home. Do we want them to come home and be our neighbors? Do we want to welcome them in and help restore them towards citizenship? Or do we want to uh, shovel them off into a second class citizenry that will maybe work for us or slave for us down the road? Everything has a cost, and I'll just leave it there.
We don't want that.
Not
People,
yet.
I mean, I'm using the royal we, right?
Okay.
That
Oh,
guy didn't want you in his car. He didn't care about your story. He didn't care about nuance. He was immediately uncomfortable. And it's because of how Americans in general, how our ideal of right and wrong is, right? You know, like
but
you
you
talk
know
about
what's
World
so
War II. You talk about World War II. Hitler's the worst. The worst. Why did it take America so long to get into the war? Because they were like,
thank
man,
you.
listen,
Well,
let's let
well, we
all
are.
of those European people lower themselves a little bit, and then we'll come in and be the heroes because they knew there was capital gain to be made. Like, it's,
You know,
yeah.
I've got a speech I'm writing called "We Are the Nazis." Don't tell anybody, but it actually relates to our philosophy back then and our philosophy on incarceration, how we, ignore this stuff. But I just want to say one. I should add one thing about that conversation because I like to give people hope. The
Mhm.
conversation that I was having with this Uber driver, I pushed through it, and this is less than a month ago. I pushed through it because I sensed in him, I read that the guy has a willingness to share, and I asked him, and I got him to draw out some circumstances in which he was able to see himself in some of the mistakes that he made. And by the time that we was done, a few minutes later, once he dropped me off, oh man, he's back to the guy he was all the way, which is just a way of highlighting that there is hope. We can reach an approach of consensus,
Right.
and it is there. So I don't want anyone to think it's unrealistic or that there's if someone writes you off because they find out something negative about your past, then that's it. You today control. Yes, you can control the narrative of your life. I just want to add that on. I'm sorry.